from the government and then went bankrupt. The IG found out that decreed that not only had Solyndra management misled government officials about its finances and prospects, but more importantly that those government officials had missed clear warning signs about the company because they'd been so eager to push out a new loan. More evidence, Stuart, that government should not be a venture capitalist, not only because of the political pressure, but because when you're playing with other people's money, taxpayer money, you make bad calls.
And sooner or later, when you're socialism, you run out of other people's money. I think Margaret Thatcher said that. Mary, hit or miss?
This is a miss for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who is generating a hateful witch hunt against foreigners in order to explain his country's economic crisis. This week, he deported some 1,000 Colombians. He's threatening to close the border. Now, Maduro is not the first populist demagogue to scapegoat immigrants.
Thank you for watching. I'm Stuart Varney. Catch me weekdays on Varney and Company, the Fox Business Network, 9 a.m. sharp. Paul's back next week.
Gunned down from behind in cold blood. Houston mourns a veteran police officer after his brutal execution-style murder.
It's tough enough being a deputy and being a law enforcement in this country right now. But for people the way that they are right now, I have no words for what this type of person did.
Surveillance tape shows the gas station shooter will have the latest from a police news conference on the search for the killer.
And Mother Nature's fury, at least 20 people are dead in the Caribbean as Tropical Storm Erica rips through the region toward the Florida Gulf Coast. But is Erica losing power? We'll get the very latest from the Fox News Extreme Weather Center.
Question to ponder this Saturday: why is one of the country's most popular fast food chains facing a ban at one of the nation's biggest airports? We're going to tell you about the legal battle that mixes religion, political correctness, and chicken sandwiches. Well, good Saturday to you. Thanks for spending it with us. Nice to be with you. Nice to be with you as well. I'm Leland Vittert.
And I'm Elizabeth Pran. Welcome to America's News Headquarters from Washington. It was just a routine Friday night for Harris County Deputy Darren Goforth, but it turned tragic in a flash of gunfire. The 10-year veteran officer stopped to fill up his patrol car after wrapping up a crash investigation near Houston. What he could not know and did not see was the killer behind him, who shot him execution style. Harris County Sheriff Ron Hickman says he can't recall another incident so cold-blooded and cowardly. Will Carr has more.
Hi, Elizabeth. There have been conflicting reports throughout the course of the morning. What we know right now is that authorities in Harris County, Texas, are talking to a person of interest, a man who they say they're questioning because he had a truck that matches the description of the suspect's truck here. They're also searching the home of that person of interest. As for the shooting, they're calling this a pure assassination. They say it was an execution-style murder. They say the suspect walked up behind Harris County Deputy Darren Goforth, who had just finished filling up his car at a local gas station, and without warning or any apparent motive, opened fire, shooting Goforth in the head and the back. Then the suspect stood over the deputy while he was still on the ground and continued firing. Goforth died at the scene. This morning, the Harris County Sheriff's Office tweeted, "We awoke this morning hoping it was all a bad dream. Our hearts are full of grief. Thank you for your prayers."
It strikes us in the heart to simply be a target because you wear a badge and for no other reason hits you where you live.
It's horrifying. It's an act of cowardice and brutality, the likes of which I've never seen before.
Surveillance video shows that the suspect took off in a Ford Ranger pickup. It's the same type of truck that was found outside of the person of interest house in Northwest Houston. But as of now, again, nobody has been charged. Goforth was a 10-year veteran, a father of two, and a husband. The president of the local police union came out and said that they've been warned to be careful because of the national public sentiment against police officers right now. Goforth is the 23rd member of law enforcement across the country to be shot and killed this year. Compare that to 2013 when 27 were killed throughout the entire year. The number jumped last year when 41 members of law enforcement were shot and killed. And the sheriff in Harris County says that members of law enforcement all across the country need to be on high alert right now because you never know when the next attack may come. Elizabeth.
All right, Will Carr reporting live. Thank you, Will. So does a police badge paint a target on law enforcement officers, especially in areas where police are seen as the bad guys?
There's a lot of places like that. Fox News contributor and former Washington, D.C. homicide detective Rod Wheeler joins us now from Cleveland. Rod, I was struck as we listened to Will's report that the union had talked about police officers being targeted, being under threat. Is that something specific to Houston, or is that a nationwide issue, you feel like?
Good afternoon to you, Leland. I can tell you that that is a nationwide issue, and here's why I can tell you that, because I speak with police officers all across the country, and for the past 6 months in our roll calls that we have before the officers hit the streets, you know what's emphasized? Watch your back. We are targets. Officers are actually telling each other, we are targets. You wear that badge on your chest, but you have crosshairs on your back. And just last night, Leland, we saw a clear example of a cold-blooded, callous ambush against a uniformed police officer that was on duty. And if you want my opinion, and I've been in law enforcement a long time, I submit to you, Leland, that there is a major war on police officers and authority in this country, and we had better do something about it to get it to stop.
I'm not sure there's a lot of statistics to refute what you have, your supposition there and your proposition, Rod. What I'm interested, though, in is what's changed? What's happened? Why all of a sudden this war against cops?
Well, there's a combination of reasons as to why that is. The main reason is this. There's so much disrespect for authority in the United States today. Police officers are doing their jobs. Look, just 2 weeks ago, Leland, there was a police officer in the United States that was beaten bludgeoningly. He didn't die, but you know why he didn't use excessive force? Because he was afraid that he was going to be thrown under the bus by the police. By the politicians. Now, where is the outrage over the actions of this guy last night in killing this police officer? There are no outrage. Where are the marches? But now, if the situation had been reversed, Leland, and this police officer would have shot this thug last night, we would have been burning down CVS. So you see the difference here, and that's why we see crime rates skyrocketing right now in this country.
And Rod, if I may interject and ask you a question about the nature of this alleged murder. We know initially this officer was shot from behind, and then he actually approached him and continued shooting. To me, that seems as if it was a targeted murder. I want you to talk to me a little bit about the nature of this crime.
That's right, Elizabeth. This was definitely a targeted murder, but it wasn't just a murder. This was an execution-style murder. What does that mean? That means that this shooting suspect last night, his intent was to make sure that this police officer was dead. Now, I think the interesting thing that we're going to be following this week is what was the motive behind this guy's shooting? And I'm only speculating here, but I submit to you, and other police officers feel the same way, that this could have been a hate crime. So I'm hoping that law enforcement authorities are not just investigating this as a shooting against a cop, but this happened to be an African-American suspect who targeted a white police officer. And if the motivation is the fact that this was a white police officer, then you know what we have here? We have a hate crime, and this guy needs to be charged as such.
It'd be interesting to see if the Justice Department decides to charge it as a hate crime going the other way. You make a good point, Rod. Where's Al Sharpton? Where's Black Lives Matter? Where are the quote-unquote community organizers to stand up and say to the youth and to people like this shooter, this is not right? And if you have a problem with the police, feel free to go out and demonstrate, but violence is not the answer.
Well, like I've said many, many times, and you and I have talked about this, Leland, we know that we've had some issues with law enforcement in this country over the past few years, and we're working on it. But let me tell you, where is the outrage for what happened to this young police officer last night? I'm not seeing it, and I'm not hearing it from the politicians, and that's a disgrace.
Well, we will wait and we will see, for that matter, if President Obama comes out and says anything. We know he said things in the past about shootings in Baltimore and other things. We'll see if he comes out in support of this police officer. Rod Wheeler, appreciate your insights, and stick around. We'll see you next hour as well.
Thank you, Leland.
Thanks, Rod. Fox Extreme Weather Alert now. Devastating scenes of destruction in the Caribbean. Tropical storm Erica Friday slammed into a small Caribbean island, generating ferocious flooding and some lethal landslides. Look at the mud running over the cars. Authorities say at least 20 people in Dominica are dead. 31 others are missing. The good news, though, Erica has been officially downgraded as it moves towards the Florida coast. Meteorologist Janice Dean is following it all from the Fox Weather Center. Janice, there was an email that went out that said it is not a storm, it is a trough of low pressure. To the uneducated, that sounds a little bit like an afternoon thunderstorm.
Well, not quite, Leland. It's still got a lot of tropical moisture associated with it, and the potential for heavy rain, certainly mudslides as it gets into the higher terrain of the Dominican Republic and Cuba. But right now, the good news is it has been downgraded to an area of low pressure. So we're still going to monitor it because what remains of Erica could regenerate over the next several days. But right now, we're just going to see some heavy rainfall across Florida, parts of the southeast, and maybe the Gulf Coast. So there's our remnant low, very disorganized, which is, of course, great news because 48 hours ago we were thinking this could be a hurricane. So there is what we are dealing with. That's the satellite radar imagery, what's left of Erica. And then we're also getting some tropical moisture streaming into Florida as well as the southeast and the Gulf of Mexico. So heavy rain from Erica, 3 to 6 inches potentially for South Florida and parts of Florida over the next couple of days. And we're into tropical season, so we're still going to have to monitor what remains of Erica. Now, Hurricane Ignacio, this is in the Pacific. It is a hurricane and it's expected to become Category 3 and possibly affect Hawaii over the next couple of days. There's the radar over the Hawaiian Islands, but taking a look at the track right now of Ignacio, we think over the next couple of days, strengthening Category 3 storm, and as it heads towards the islands, north of the island, still the potential for some heavy rain, downpours, as well as gusty winds. So we're certainly watching that. It is tropical season. What's behind Erica in the Atlantic? The next named storm will be Fred. We'll have to monitor that as we get into the next couple of days. Still very active, but the good news, of course, is Erica is no longer. Back to you, Leland.
A lot of folks in Florida now who can enjoy their weekend. Janice, thanks.
You got it.
Presidential frontrunners on both sides taking heat. Former Governor Martin O'Malley saying the Democratic debates are rigged to help frontrunner Hillary Clinton. He said it right in front of the DNC chairwoman. This as Trump insists a campaign event with a $100 per person cost was not a fundraiser. Molly Hindenburg is here in Washington with all the details. Hi, Molly.
Hi, Elizabeth. He's leading in the GOP polls. And today at the National Federation of Republican Assemblies in Nashville, Tennessee, Donald Trump tried to reassure the crowd that he's a Republican, he's a conservative, and he explained why his candidacy is surprising the political establishment.
There is a big, growing, like leaps and bounds, silent majority out there. And we're going to take this country back, and we're going to make this country so great again and so strong again.
Meanwhile, this past week, the Democratic contenders spoke to the Democratic National Committee in Minneapolis. Hillary Clinton is the top contender for the Democratic nomination, but Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, a socialist, is getting the party's attention with his large events and increasing poll numbers. Sanders suggested to the party's leaders that it's time for something new.
With all due respect, and I do not mean to insult anyone here, that turnout, that enthusiasm will not happen with politics as usual. The same old will not work.
There's a number of people here.
Vice President Joe Biden, who's considering joining the race, did not attend the meeting. Despite Hillary Clinton's problems with the email scandal, Biden still could face a tough battle to get enough delegates to win the nomination. And Clinton pointedly said yesterday that the delegate count is something she is and has been focused on.
We are working really hard to lock in as many supporters as possible. And, of course, that would include superdelegates.
Senator Sanders also says that Clinton's long relationship with Democratic Party leaders gives her a, quote, huge advantage. Elizabeth?
Molly Hindenburg reporting live. Molly, thank you.
Now, extreme views about women, we expect that from some of the terrorist groups. We expect that from people who don't want to live in the modern world. But it's a little hard to take coming from Republicans who want to be the president of the United States.
Hillary Clinton angered a lot of Republicans this week with her comparison of GOP presidential candidates to, as you heard, terrorists. The inflammatory comments come at a tumultuous time for the Clinton campaign. Questions surrounding Clinton's email use during her tenure as Secretary of State are, of course, clouding her bid. And turnout at campaign events seems unusually low considering her frontrunner status, especially to some. Josh Kraushaar is National Journal political editor. Josh, we'll get to the popularity later. First, in terms of what we see is almost sort of a new, I want to say, anger and defensiveness that's coming from Hillary Clinton. It seems as though she's trying to almost take a page out of Donald Trump's playbook and hit back and use really inflammatory language.
Well, it's not a coincidence of the timing of these remarks that she's trying to play to the base at a time when there's some real worry in Democratic Party circles about the email scandal, about the popularity and energy behind her supporters to her campaign. This is a way to attack Republicans in the most polarizing manner possible, to get the base back on board and to really tamp down talk about Joe Biden possibly entering this Democratic presidential primary.
All right, we'll see how fired up the base is in a minute. But I also wanted to point out this exchange she had yesterday with our Ed Henry. Take a listen.
Were you aware that your husband wanted to give paid speeches to repressive regimes like North Korea? Do you have any comment on these new emails that have raised questions about conflict of interest involving your aide, Huma Abedin? And finally, I wonder if you said there's nothing unique about this situation. You've said that before. Can you name one other cabinet secretary who had their own server?
Well, let me answer one of your questions because I think that's what you are entitled to.
Ooh, that's what you're entitled to. Is she? She's not president yet.
She's had trouble answering questions, not just from Ed Henry, but from almost every reporter that's been pressing her on the server, and really a steady stream of revelations that haven't been positive to her campaign. That's not the tone you want to strike when you have tough questions being asked of you. The goal of answering questions from the press yesterday was to sort of tamp down on the constant
scrutiny. It seems to be being antagonistic doesn't seem to be getting in her anywhere.
When there's smoke, there's fire, and she's only making the fuel worse.
This is a page out of the Clinton playbook, if you will. I mean, she was the one who has talked about the vast right-wing conspiracy against my husband back during the Monica Lewinsky scandal and those kinds of things. Are the Clintons best when they're playing defense? Is that what she's trying to go back to?
That's part of the strategy, but that was 25 years ago. The media market has changed in the last couple of decades.
So what worked 25 years ago isn't working now.
It's a dated playbook, and having folks like James Carville and a lot of her old allies from the 1990s operate under that slower media cycle of generations of years past isn't as effective, and she's finding it out the hard way as she's learning when she's answering these questions at press conferences and not getting the response she wants.
Well, she's not getting the response she wants from the press or at press conference. She's also not getting the response she wants from the polls. Take a look at the latest polls showing Hillary Clinton's popularity as it compares, say, to Bernie Sanders. May 28th, 57%. Now, 45%. Those are the latest numbers we have. I mean, she's falling precipitously. Joe Biden's coming up in the polls. And our Ed Henry pointed out this. Take a look at some of the pictures he's taken at some of her rallies. She is the front runner, was at one point considered the runaway front runner, the inevitable candidate. The crowds are half empty. People aren't that enthusiastic, whereas Bernie Sanders is getting 20,000 people, Trump's getting 30,000 people. Is she sort of all hat and no cattle when it comes to support?
Well, I think there are two different things to separate: the Democratic nomination and the general election viability. For the Democratic nomination, she's still the favorite. Bernie Sanders is not going to be the Democratic nominee, even though he's tapping into the base.
But people aren't excited about her. They're excited about him.
The real interesting factor is Joe Biden. And the reason Joe Biden is looking at this campaign is because he's seen those same numbers that you've been reporting on and that we've all been seeing. And he sees her as a possible weak candidate in a general election against whoever the Republicans nominate. And there's a lot of worry in Democratic Party circles that this email scandal, the way she's been answering the questions in a very tenured type of way, is hurting her ability to win a general election. Joe Biden might give her some real heartburn in a primary because he might be viewed as the more electable Democrat. And if she's seen as weaker in a general, Joe Biden might win some of that support.
Josh Kraushaar, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot to report on this story. We appreciate your insights.
Thanks, Lil.
Thanks. Good to have you. Elizabeth?
And coming up, losing ground in dozens of homes. High winds are exhausting firefighters battling wildfires out west. Is there any relief in sight? We'll have the answer coming up. Plus, horror for a young mother and her two children The chain reaction that sent this car plunging into a neighbor's pool. We'll tell you how it all turned out. And brand new revelations in the IRS targeting scandal, why Lois Lerner's pet dog is making headlines these days.
The IRS has been stonewalling, obstructing our Freedom of Information Act lawsuit for years now. They told us Lois Lerner emails were missing, and then they told us they were unmissing, and they've been stalling the production of those emails.
What do we got?
BP 64 over 40.
2 units of O9. Multiple foreign objects in the body.
Scissors.
If you're the guy from the operation game, you get operated on. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Heartburn.
No one burns on my watch. Try Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. They work fast and don't taste chalky.
Amazing. I have heartburn.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
Honey, can you give me a mug?
What?
A mug.
A what?
A mug.
Excuse me, buddy.
Ready to renovate? Houzz can help with your dream project. Get ideas, shop for products, and find the best professionals. Go to houzz.com and get started.
I started with another mortgage company. Then I found New Day USA. I got their phone number from TV. I just took the phone and made a phone call. Kevin, he had sympathy. He told me he understood my situation. And since I was a veteran, he said, we are here to help you. And they proved it. They proved it. You saw the contract today. God, I am so excited. It makes me a proud husband to my wife, a proud father to my kids, and it brings us together closer. Our family is now closer. Everybody feels like we have something. We have a roof of our own. This is an amazing feeling.
Black Lives Matter. After causing stirs at presidential rallies, how is the movement actually helping race relations? Judge Janine weighs in and hears from both sides tonight on Justice.
Mercedes-Benz of Oakland and San Francisco were able to work with my budget at the time, and they made it really easy to just put a little bit of money down and be able to walk away with the car of my dreams.
You will find your Mercedes waiting at 1-800-NEW-BENZ. During the Mercedes-Benz summer event, shop over 600 new and used vehicles, like a 2015 CLA 250, now just $319 a month to lease. Or lease a 2016 E350 sedan for only $519 a month.
Your Mercedes is waiting at 1-800-NEW-BENZ.
This school year, 95% of students will go online to do their homework. Can your internet keep up? Only Xfinity from Comcast delivers the fastest, most reliable in-home Wi-Fi, so everyone can work online at the same time.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Get your geek on. Now you can get the most Wi-Fi coverage for your home when you upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play. And save when you bundle. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Xfinity.com today.
High winds in the forecast could have Washington State's largest wildfire ever getting even bigger and spreading even further. The fires have already scorched, get this, 470 square miles. More than that, officials say at least 45 homes and dozens of other structures have burned in Washington. 3 firefighters, we're told, have also died battling these blazes. The entire region is suffering from high temperatures, as you can see, and very active wildfires all across the Pacific Northwest.
Now to new developments in the IRS conservative targeting scandal. The agency reveals Lois Lerner, the woman at the center of the scandal, used a second personal email account to conduct agency business. This as multiple members of the Obama administration have come under fire for using secret email accounts. The second account set up under the name Toby Miles, the name of Lerner's dog. You may remember the IRS first announced that emails were missing back in February of 2014. In June of 2014, the IRS told committee investigators Lerner's emails from January of 2009 to April of 2011 were, quote, lost. And in June of this year, government investigators said as many as 24,000 scandal-related emails were lost when 422 backup tapes were erased. So joining us now is Ohio Congressman Mike Turner, a Republican member of the House Oversight Committee, which is investigating the IRS controversy. So take notes of all that history there to bring us up to date.
Sure.
So the IRS admitted in federal court that there is a second email account. Now what? What does this mean? What's next?
Well, this is clearly a pattern of deception. I mean, what we've had from the beginning, the administration, the president said we're going to get to the bottom of this. But he's done nothing except for, permit multiple accounts to be used in his administration and allowed additional destruction of evidence while subpoenas and investigations were going on. The same thing for the IRS commissioner. As you said, he came before Congress. I was there and said there are no Lois Lerner emails. And now we're learning, of course, there are Lois Lerner emails. As a result of the work of the House Oversight Committee, the Inspector General, and of course the federal court actions and Judicial Watch, we're having now new emails come to light that'll give us some insight into what was happening at the IRS.
So you will have access to these emails, is what you're saying?
Absolutely. In the end, of the emails that will be found, they will be made public, and we'll have an ability to try to do some oversight and hold people accountable. But there's still, thousands of emails that are lost as a result of the administration allowing the destruction of evidence while investigations were ongoing.
When you talk about holding people accountable, Ms. Lerner resigned in 2013, but she's never necessarily been punished, although admitted, not necessarily in front of Congress, that there was some targeting going on. Will anyone ever be held accountable?
Well, I hope so, because I think these investigations will be productive. Whether it's Lois Lerner or whether it's Hillary Clinton and the two different email systems, the basic issue is that there were real, violations of people's constitutional rights here. With Hillary Clinton's aspect, there was the issue of Benghazi. There are real issues that need investigation because there were very extreme consequences that people need to be held accountable for. And so this is not just people having just a curious nature. This is actually, what was our government doing? How were they harming people? And how do we hold them accountable?
So what's the end game here?
Continue the investigations, continue to hold the administration accountable. I think the forensics that are being undertaken will produce additional emails, and in that we'll be able to find out what happened. Now, I think clearly this is also a direction for the administration that they need to stop this duplicative pursuit of hidden emails, and we need to get back to where government uses government functions and government email accounts.
Right, and we heard before the break, we heard from Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch saying that there's some stonewalling going on here. We've also heard him say this is disturbing, and many people would agree. What type of consequences could the public possibly see? Because some people were very much affected by this.
Right, and in enforcing the laws, first off, of those laws that were broken, is part of the basis of the investigation. But even the handling of government information is in the Hillary Clinton case, where we have classified information that was mishandled. Some of these processes themselves violate laws, not just the actions themselves were violating laws.
Okay, so what if we learn that Toby Miles' account also perhaps has emails that are erased and that you may not get access to all of those? Then what?
Well, I think we need to pursue the forensics there. I mean, I think obviously as an account is used that has government access and government implications, government and certainly the public deserve to have access to it.
Do you foresee people in government only using government addresses coming up?
Well, that has to be the end result here. I mean, that's certainly standing policy. It needs to be enforced. And that's the only way that we can make certain that we hold government accountable. Where people are they doing their jobs, and how are they harming the American public? That's the way that we get to the end result, is to do that assessment, is to see what work they've done.
All right, Representative Mike Turner from Ohio, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
All right, coming up, it's the fight over the original, many say best, chicken sandwich ever. Why are some local officials trying to block Chick-fil-A from opening up at the Denver airport? One of Denver's top attorneys is here to weigh in on a controversy that's brought up religion, free speech, and, of course, chicken sandwiches. Plus, An attack thwarted a week after 3 American heroes stopped a gunman on a French-bound train. What are these heroes up to next? We'll tell you coming up.
So, I mean, we just got lucky in 5 or 6 different ways. I mean, if any one of those things went different, we all would have died.
Hi, I'm William Devane. You've heard me talk about how smart it is to buy silver. Well, there's a growing demand for silver around the world, and right now silver is very affordable with room to grow in value. So don't miss out. I buy my silver from Roslyn Capital. Buying silver has been an important way to accumulate wealth for thousands of years and a great way to start investing. There are silver coins, silver bars, and even full bags of silver. And Roslyn has them all. And with Roslyn, you're always guaranteed the best prices, the fastest shipping, and the best customer service around. I like that, and so will you. So when it comes to buying gold or silver, call Roslyn Capital. What's in your safe?
Call now and get a free gold kit, a free silver kit, and a free IRA transfer kit. Call 800-630-8900, 800-630-8900, 800-630-8900.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to a rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira, helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira, helping me reach for more. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for more than 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
Don't get caught off guard by bad weather again. My Radar is a free mobile app that can instantly tell you what the weather is doing right now. My Radar gives you instant access to high-definition radar and forecasts both locally and around the country. When severe weather strikes, My Radar will alert you so you know where and when the storm is headed. From tornadoes to hurricanes, My Radar will keep you ahead of the threat. Whether it's a day at the beach, starting a road trip, or getting your daily run in, My Radar can help you plan your day. My Radar, available on iPhone, Android, and Windows. Download My Radar today.
I'm really into this car, but how do I know if I'm getting a good deal? TrueCar knows exactly how much people have been paying for the car I want. I tell TrueCar my zip and what car I'm into, and it shows me the TrueCar curve. This shows the range of prices people in my area actually paid for the same car. Looks like these folks paid a little more than everyone else. And this guy got the deal of a lifetime. This is how car buying was always meant to be. This is TrueCar.
Are you ready to take it all off this summer?
I took it all off, and I'm glad I did. 35 pounds gone.
If you said that I could get in a bathing suit again, I'd say you're crazy. But I did it.
There's still time to look hot and feel great this summer. Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit.
I've lost 40.5 pounds on Nutrisystem, and I feel fabulous.
Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back, guaranteed.
I'm Erin, and I lost 30 pounds.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of specially selected meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes to rev your metabolism, free. And 1 week of the all-new NutriCrush shakes to crush your hunger, free. Call in the next 4 minutes and you'll also get our delicious smoothies, absolutely free. Millions of people have lost weight with Nutrisystem, and now you can too. Call and order today. Plus, get 2 weeks of smoothies free.
Call 888-660-DIET right now and get Fast 5 Plus with shakes free.
This is the Fox News Alert. We'll be bringing you a live news conference from Houston at the top of the hour. We'll update us on the execution-style murder of Deputy Darren Goforth last night and whether they're any closer to catching his alleged killer, seen here in an image caught on a security camera.
Now to Denver, where some city council members want to stop a Chick-fil-A from opening at Denver's airport. One member says she worries that the profits from the deal will, quote, fuel discrimination. Their main complaint centers around a Chick-fil-A executive's comments opposing gay marriage, while others question the fast food chain's decision to close on Sundays. City Council is going to meet again this Tuesday, but there's a serious question about if they have the legal power to block the deal. Denver-based attorney Dan Reck joins us now to discuss. Can the city council really say we don't like your owner's politics or, for that matter, your religious views, and therefore you can't open in our city?
No, they'll never get away with this. This is classic viewpoint discrimination, the most audacious type, and they won't get away with it. I'm guessing the city attorney of Denver will instruct them that they're off base, that what they're thinking about doing is unconstitutional, and it won't happen.
It's interesting. One city council person said we can do better than this brand at Denver. As far as I understand it, and you're a lawyer, I'm not, but Chick-fil-A has never really been accused of any kind of discrimination. This is simply the owner's political viewpoints.
Absolutely. That's what makes it purely constitutionally protected. There's been no discrimination alleged. It's just that the owner, Mr. Cathy, has made statements that offend many people, gay and lesbian people, and politically correct people here in Denver, apparently, and they want to try to do something about it, but nothing can be done about it.
When you say nothing can be done about it, the city council can essentially vote any way they want, and I know I'll take the liberty as a friend of yours to say that I know you don't necessarily agree with Mr. Cathy's views, but it seems as though you'd be willing to take his case up against the city if it came to that.
Absolutely. I don't agree with his views, and yet to my dying day I would defend his right to say such things. I mean, that is what our First Amendment is about, that you can't discriminate against entities or people for the content of what they say.
Well, or if they want to close on Sunday. Or if they want to close on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is what Chick-fil-A says. It says Chick-fil-A is focused on providing everyone great food in an atmosphere of genuine hospitality. We hope to welcome all guests to any of our locations, including a proposed licensed location at the Denver.
Apparently, and they want to try to do something about it, but nothing can be done about it.
When you say nothing can be done about it, the city council can essentially vote any way they want, and I know I'll take the liberty as a friend of yours to say that I know you don't necessarily agree with Mr. Cathy's views, but it seems as though you'd be willing to take his case up against the city if it came to that.
Absolutely. I don't agree with his views, and yet to my dying day I would defend his right to say such things. I mean, that is what our First Amendment is about, that you can't discriminate against entities or people for the content of what they say.
Well, if they want to close on Sunday. Or if they want to close on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is what Chick-fil-A says. It says Chick-fil-A is focused on providing everyone great food in an atmosphere of genuine hospitality. We hope to welcome all guests to any of our locations, including a proposed licensed location at the Denver International Airport. The city council can essentially do what they want. They can vote any way they want. That happens. So would Chick-fil-A then have to sue the Denver City Council in order to be able to open up at the airport?
They would have to sue, and as I'm saying, I believe they would prevail in that lawsuit, and the city council would have to give them back their spot at the airport. In the same breath, let me say, I don't think the city attorney is going to let them do that. I think he's going to tell city council, you're off base on this, and it would be unconstitutional to make that decision at this point.
Well, pretty interesting. So the vote is Tuesday night, as we understand it. According to at least one of the city council members, it is, quote, really, truly a moral issue on the city to figure this out. And if they don't take your advice or the city's attorney's advice, we'll have you back next week to discuss what could happen from there. Dan Recht in Denver, we appreciate you coming in on a Saturday, sir.
Yes, I'm honored always.
All right. Good to see you. Thank you. All right. So you heard Dan's point of view. We've obviously heard what some of the city council members think about this. Now we want to hear from you. Should Chick-fil-A be allowed to open in the Denver airport. Why? Why not? If you also want to say whether you like Chick-fil-A sauce or barbecue sauce on your Chick-fil-A sandwich, put that on Twitter too, at Leland Vittert, at Elizabeth Pran, or at ANHQDC. And we're going to read some of your thoughts coming up here a little later in the show.
The 3 Americans who subdued a gunman on a high-speed train traveling to Paris last week are adjusting to their newfound fame. An exclusive interview with On the Record, Greta Van Susteren talks to one of those heroes, Oregon National Guardsman Alex Skarlatos. He talks about his split decision to jump into action.
Then he pulled out a handgun. It was right in front of me, so I just grabbed the handgun immediately, pried it out of his hand. Tried to shoot him with it twice, but it was empty at that point, so I threw it. Then I grabbed the AK-47, which was at his feet. I don't remember this, but I apparently tried to shoot him with that as well. But then I started beating him over the head with it with the muzzle, and I just hit him about 4 or 5 times. Still, he stopped moving.
You can watch this on the Record Special tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You certainly don't want to miss it, or, of course, Greta's show on the Record any day of the week for that matter. Still ahead, remembering Hurricane Katrina 10 years after the storm struck the Gulf Coast. Thousands paused to reflect on the damage and the devastation in the region. Casey Stiegel is live in New Orleans.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, numerous events are planned across the Big Easy this weekend to honor and remember those victims. We will show you those and also show you how this city is moving forward. Coming up in a live report when America's News headquarters continues next.
We need intel from James Whitey Bulger. Do you know what I do to rats? I can help you, and you can help me. An alliance like this, it makes you stronger. The success, just getting started. The devil is alive. There's just one rule. The devil is alive. You can't kill anybody, Jimmy. The devil is alive. Okay.
Rated R. Big Dave just upgraded everybody with the latest smartphones and devices. Had them all set up and arranged for 24/7 support. But he didn't buy the devices. He got mobility as a service from Sprint Business. So he pays for the whole enchilada per person per month for way less. But did anybody notice? Did anyone even think how huge this is? Mobility as a service. A bold new way to get wireless.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Heart health's important. So you may take an omega-3 supplement, but it's the ingredients inside that really matter for heart health. New Bear Pro Ultra Omega-3 has 2 times the concentration of EPA and DHA as a leading omega-3 supplement. New Bear Pro Ultra Omega-3.
Why are all these people so asleep? Yet I'm so awake.
Did you know your brain has 2 systems? One helps keep you awake. The other helps you sleep. Science suggests when you have insomnia, the wake system in your brain may be too strong, and your neurotransmitters remain too active as you try to sleep, which could be leading to your insomnia.
Oh, maybe that's what's preventing me from getting the sleep I need.
Talk to your doctor about ways to manage your insomnia.
What did you take?
You took away my breath sometimes.
You took away my running.
You took my hair.
You took my husband, my mom,
my dad.
You tried to take me.
And now?
You're not getting anything else.
Because I am still here.
I am still here.
I am still here.
See, this is a fight. And cancer?
We are going to win.
Save all week during our last chance summer sale. Right now, select suits are only $199.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more of your fashionable favorites. Only at Men's Warehouse.
With Empire Today's new half-price sale, our best sale. Get beautiful floors and professional installation for half price. That's carpet with installation, half price. Hardwood with installation, half price. Tile or vinyl plus installation, half price. And laminate with installation, half price. That's half price for your whole project. Floors and professional installation. It's Empire's new half-price sale. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Can a business have a mind, a subconscious, a knack for predicting the future? Reflexes faster than the speed of thought? Can a business have a spirit? Can a business have a soul? Can a business be alive?
A gruesome accident at a paper-making facility in China has left 7 people dead. A worker fell into a pool of poisonous waste made of paper pulp during a cleaning operation. Colleagues then rushed in to try and rescue him. They were overcome by noxious fumes. They died as well. The incident comes just weeks after China ordered a nationwide safety check following a chemical plant explosion which killed, so far that we know of, 145 people.
Well, it was 10 years ago today Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast. The storm bringing a horrific wave of death and destruction to much of New Orleans and much of the Gulf Coast for that matter. Thousands are taking time today to remember the lives who were lost and a city that was changed forever by that brutal storm. Casey Stiegel is live in New Orleans. Hi, Casey.
Elizabeth, good to see you. By this time last year, 10 years ago at 12:44 local time, there were numerous reports of levee breaches and waterway breaches across the city, water inundating neighborhoods in and around New Orleans. We all watched on live television as people were plucked from their roofs of their homes, many climbing up there because the waters were rising so quickly. It is estimated that some 1,800 people across the Gulf Coast did not survive. This morning, a somber ceremony here in the Crescent City at the Hurricane Katrina Memorial on Canal Street. A wreath was put out in honor of the victims. But on this day, many we've talked to say that they choose to look forward, how the city has come back stronger than ever. At the famed Antoine's Restaurant, that will celebrate its 175th anniversary this year. Business, they tell us, has never been better. The CEO paid all of his staff, even though they did not reopen until 4 months following the storm.
I don't think New Orleanians ever gave up for a second, and we certainly didn't. So we just did what every other community does when disaster strikes. We reinvested in our community because that's what's important to us.
President Bill Clinton is scheduled to speak here in New Orleans later this afternoon, looking back on all of the progress that has been made over the last decade, but tourism numbers are up here. It is a city that has been reimagined and rebuilt, and the people here say that's what they want to focus on today, is the new New Orleans, as it's called, and not looking back a decade ago. Elizabeth?
Right. Casey, great reporting. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next hour, we'll speak with Dr. Shannon Verrett, the pastor of the Franklin Avenue Baptist Church in Houston. We'll discuss how faith is keeping a community of Hurricane Katrina refugees together after being forced to flee from New Orleans.
Coming up, have you heard about this? A deadly disease that wiped out much of Europe back in the Middle Ages is now making a new appearance right here in the United States. Fox News medical A-teamer Dr. Manny Alvarez is here with what you need to know to keep you and your family safe from the plague. Plus, the frightening chain of events that led this car driver, driven by a young mother with 2 small children, to crash into a neighbor's pool. And critics are calling the GOP 2016 frontrunner a, quote, flip-flopper. But will the charge stick to Teflon Don? Our political panel weighs in coming up.
I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich.
We have a lot of small contributors. I would even take big contributors as long as they don't expect anything.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, isn't it time to let the real you shine through? Introducing Otezla, a Premolast. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. Some people who took Otezla saw 75% clearer skin after 4 months. And Otezla's prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't take Otezla if you are allergic to any of its ingredients. Otezla may increase the risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Side effects may include diarrhea, nausea, upper respiratory tract infection, and headache. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ask your doctor about Otezla today. Otezla. Show more of you.
What if there was a way you could know the future of the stock market, America, the world, even your own? What if there was a 3,000-year-old mystery determining world events right now? One so precise it foretold the collapse of Wall Street down to the dates and hours, even the timing of 9/11. What if it foretells a calamity you can prepare for? The Mystery of the Shemitah, Unlocked, by New York Times best-selling author Jonathan Cahn. These riveting resources will forewarn you as to what lies ahead. It may just change your life.
A presidential prediction. John rates the field from worst to first. The surprising things you will learn about the candidates. It's a must-see edition of Stossel tonight.
Summer's almost over. Let the celebration begin. It's your NorCal Honda dealer's end of summer celebration with incredible financing and lease offers on the gas-stingy Civic, delivering up to 47 mpg highway. Yeah. On the sporty CRV, Motor Trend's 2015 SUV of the Year. And on the spacious Odyssey, a 2015 Kelley Blue Book Best Buy. Hurry, our celebration ends Labor Day. See your NorCal Honda dealer now.
If you've dreamed about transforming your home, nothing makes a bigger impact than new Marvin windows and doors. Beautiful design solutions that inspire. Unlimited possibilities that bring your vision to life. Dream big. Marvin Windows and Doors, built around you.
Get inspired at Baronio Lumber, your local Marvin dealer. At Baronio Lumber, we are environmentally conscious, having been FSC certified for over 10 years. We support green building practices. Visit Baronio Lumber today.
You got one? We got one. In stock? In stock. Orange and black stripes? Orange and black stripes. I told you it was easy.
With over 1,000 cars in our inventory, we usually have what you want. If we don't, we can find it for you. Right now, get incredible sign and drive lease deals on every member of the Prius family. San Francisco Toyota. It's that easy.
Mornings. Wonderful, crazy mornings. We figure you probably don't have time to wait on hold. That's why at Xfinity, we're hard at work building new apps, like this one, that lets you choose a time for us to call you. So instead of waiting on hold, we'll call you when things are just as wonderful, but a little less crazy. We're doing everything we can to give you the best experience possible, because we should fit into your life, not the other way around.
A car in Miami took a wrong turn and ended up in a swimming pool. Try explaining this one to your husband. Police say it all started as a crash involving two cars. One car started to spin off the street, crashed through a fence, flipped upside down, and then landed in the pool. A neighbor saw the whole thing and helped the woman and the two young kids inside the car get out. Evidently, they got out through the trunk. And we can joke about this and think this is possibly something that could happen to Elizabeth Pran, because no one was hurt.
Happens. The Centers for Disease Control is now confirming that an elderly man in Utah died from the plague earlier this month. Utah is the 7th state to have seen cases of the plague in 2015. 12 people have been diagnosed with the disease in the U.S. this year. The CDC says that's a significant increase in the number of plague cases from previous years. So, for more, let's bring in Dr. Manny Alvarez, a member of Fox's medical aid team. Dr. Alvarez, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we haven't seen anything of this nature since 2009. Can you explain to me and the viewers how this is contracted and why is there more of a concentration out west?
Well, I mean, it's endemic to the area, that's for sure. And every year, we average about 7 cases every year of human exposure to the plague, because it is endemic to the area. The optic in this particular year is that we have 12 cases, which is above average, and there have been 3 deaths already. Now, let's talk about how this happens. This is endemic to the area. In other words, it's found in rodents, specifically in those areas. I think we're seeing more cases exposure to humans because there's a major drought in California. So the rodents basically, run away from drought. They're looking for parks or better water, and this is when the humans come into contact. However, if you do come into contact or get a flea bite, which is typically the methodology in which you get the plague, if you recognize the symptoms, you can get treated with antibiotics, and of course there's a 90% survival. If you don't get treated with antibiotics and the doctors don't realize that you have the plague, then the mortality could be as high as 90%. So, I think the message is very important for consumers or for people. If you're sort of camping in areas that are endemic for this kind of disease, the plague, take protections by wearing repellents. Pants are very important so you don't get bites in your feet. Don't come into contact with any kind of dead animal or anything related to dead animals, because you can get exposed to the plague.
Okay, so let's say you are camping. How quickly will you start to see symptoms, and what type of symptoms should you look out for?
Well, the symptoms usually occur about 6 to 7 days after exposure. And they start like a flu-like type of symptom. You don't feel well. You develop high fevers, very high fevers. You may notice that your lymph glands are inflamed. You may get vomiting. And of course, if nothing is done, that becomes into a septic shock type of picture, and then you die. So you have to be careful, that if you develop these symptoms, especially after you've been outdoors for a while, or if you came into contact with any animals, or you notice that you have any tick bites or any flea bites in your legs, then go ahead and seek medical attention right away, because this could be potentially dangerous.
Okay, well, what does a treatment look like? You said antibiotics, but when you talk to someone perhaps who has contracted Lyme's disease, they even with treatment may have Lyme's disease their entire life. Is that something that we're looking at here, or is that totally different?
No, this bacteria is pretty easy to diagnose. This is a bacteria, and a lot of the typical antibiotics that are very effective. This is a Yersinia bacterium that is well recognized by doing cultures or by microbiologists. When they study your blood, they can isolate it and indeed treat it very effectively with a whole different kinds of broad antibiotics, the penicillin-like antibiotics that you're familiar with.
All right, Dr. Manny Alvarez joining us live. Thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We are standing by for a live news conference out of Harris County, Texas, that is near Houston. We're going to bring that to you live as it happens, scheduled for the top of the hour. The community there, as you might imagine, is shocked and saddened following the execution-style killing of one of their own deputies. Plus, secretly tracking the cell phone of suspected bad guys, why thousands of convictions of criminals are now on the line and in danger of being overturned. And this.
Oh, it's just a chance to get up there and kill it, man. You get up there and you rock out. It's all about world peace after all, right? If we're all doing this, we're not fighting a war. We're not causing problems. We're all loving.
He's loving, rocking out for world peace. No equipment necessary. We'll tell you who won the battle of the air guitars.
The Medical A-Team is brought to you by America's home care provider, Interim Healthcare.
At Interim Healthcare, we've been helping families find their way home for over 40 years. Because sometimes the most powerful medicine in the world is just a smile. Interim Healthcare. Call now to learn more about our affordable home care services.
Did you know that good nutrition is critical for brain health?
Brain food.
Ensure has B vitamins that help support brain health. Now that's smart nutrition.
Ensure's complete balanced nutrition has 26 vitamins and minerals and 9 grams of protein. Ensure. Take life in.
You struggle, squeeze, and strain, but opening that can is a pain.
Ow.
Then that dirty lid drops in your food. Yuck! Now there's a better way. Introducing Toucan, the new hands-free can opener. Just place Toucan on top of the can, press the button, and away it goes without using your hands. In seconds, your can is open with no sharp edges left on the lid or the can. It's perfect for people with arthritis or joint pain. Toucan's powerful gears actually break the seal on the outside of the can without cutting. That means no sharp edges left on the lid or the can. And those dirty lids won't fall in your food. Perfect for resealing and storing leftovers. Other can openers leave sharp edges, but Toucan leaves an edge so smooth it won't pop this balloon. And it works on any size or shape can. No more sharp lids left on the counter or in the trash.